This is a big rich town.
Yeah.
I just come from the poet's part.
It's that time of the week. No?
This is where it goes down.
This is the song of the podcast this week.
You've drowned it out.
Yeah, no, this is the one. Anyone who knows Power knows this tune, Richie.
Love Island. Up the Love Island.
This is Sam O'Reilly with the Fight Talk podcast. The reason that song is playing is because Power's back tonight. Richie abuses me for not knowing Rocky, yet he doesn't know Power. What the fuck?
Team Love Island now, mate.
Team Love Island, man. Embarrassing. You're an embarrassment.
To be honest, I don't
Team
know
Love
Power
Island.
either.
You don't know Power either?
Nah, he's a Love Island guy as well. He watches Love Island. I know
Nah,
he
you
does.
lot are wrong uns, mate.
He's not going to admit it.
You lot are wrong
He
uns.
likes
So
Love
you ain't
Island.
seen Rocky, bro?
I've seen them, they're shit.
He's not seen Rocky.
So,
You've seen Rocky?
you know last
No.
week,
We
Rocky...
sang a song to him and he didn't know what it was.
That one, I didn't know what that was. We should probably introduce you.
Yeah.
2-0, gym mate of Richie, resident basher of Richie. Every week in sparring, he's battering him. Hulio Chavez Campbell. Chavez, we go by Chavez.
Yeah.
Who needs three names? It's a bit spoiled.
Three Mexican names.
Three
as well.
Mexican. Well, Campbell isn't Mexican, is
It's
it?
English.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's all over the gaff, but he's in the building. Chavez is here. Yeah, man, how's things? All good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just here with the Richie All Grey, isn't he?
Yeah, the grey weather, Richie Grey weather. Yeah, it's was it 2 weeks? Was it 2 weeks ago? And
2 weeks ago.
Craig had his last podcast
I
with
wasn't here
us.
for that and I'm really sad.
Oh no, Rames was here. You weren't here.
Yeah.
So it's been months since you've been here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't cry.
I know, I'm sad. We're losing Craig. We need
Oh,
a new
mate.
resident sea bomber, didn't we?
It was emotional, mate. It was proper emotions.
We're on the hunt for a new
Crazy Scotsman calling people cunts.
calling people cunts,
Yeah.
crazy Scotsman. Craig, unfortunately I've took your seat on the box, mate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately I'm in the
that's-
home
And
corner now.
That is the
I've
home
taken
corner.
Richie's seat as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in the home corner. We've got a guest in the guest
Richie's
spot
in the
now.
red corner now. Look. Yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit about the boxing. Obviously, Chavez, you weren't there with us last night. Me and Richie were repping
My first
your first event as media,
first event as media. Now I'm in the home corner of the podcast. It's all happening. It's all happening for
and
Craig.
you fucking thought your career was over when Cheeky Grant smashed you up.
You brought me back.
I
You
brought
brought me
you
back.
back.
Give me another chance. Well, I did get trolled by British Warriors last night.
Let me say this: British Warriors Twitter game is strong, man.
We had some sick banter last night.
They
I
were
liked
funny.
it.
They were funny. What happened? You shared a couple of the knockouts.
Yeah, and then I was like, who should I send my invoice to?
Yeah.
And they were like,
They
Cheeky
went
Grant.
send it to Cheeky Grant.
There was that, send me to Cheeky Grant. I was like, Sam, that is cold. What should I say? What should I say? Like when you've like seeing a bird and saying, someone goes, oh, she texts me. What should I say back? What should I say back? Sounds like, say what you want. I don't know.
On that spot,
I was like, yeah, but
Yeah.
have they got banter? Have they got banter?
Yeah.
So I was like, alright, I'll unfollow, screenshot that, put it on there. I was like, say some dumb shit again.
You're a
Say some dumb shit
you're a
again.
child. That's why. Alright, let me be honest. Right, their Twitter game is up there with the best promoters in the country. It's hilarious, but I can't not be honest about their shows because of it. You know what I mean? I have to be honest. If I listen, we ripped Joey Pyle a new one.
Oh, God.
So we have to give some negative feedback to British Warriors.
Right, we ruined my career a few months ago, Chavez. Are you ready to ruin your career? Did you
Can
enjoy
ruin my
boxing?
we love it. We love it.
Did you enjoy boxing while it lasts?
Yeah.
You're about
It
to
was
lose your
good.
licence, you never get any shows again. You're gonna have to
Don't tell him
you're
that.
gonna have to wear 3/4 length jeans for the rest of your life now.
Listen, it's not that bad. Listen, compared to Joey Pyle, it was a very, very good show.
listen,
There's negatives and positives. We'll go through them all.
That was the
The way I
last
looked at it
podcast
last
I heard,
night.
innit?
Yeah,
Joey
the last
Pyle,
one you
yeah,
heard.
yeah.
it wasn't as good as a Goodwin MTK show.
No, it wasn't.
It was nowhere near a Joey Pyle show.
Nowhere near
The
that.
thing is, the British Warriors show. The production, the music was nice. There was
Their
even
sound
though-
system worked
even
fine.
though it wasn't
Oh,
filled
no.
up in there was still atmosphere. They've got good fighters. They're not all big ticket sellers, but they've got good fighters.
They do.
And yes, the fights weren't 50-50s. They said on their
Yeah,
Twitter it was, but there wasn't.
that's one thing I
They
disagree
wasn't
with.
50-50s, but the matching was good.
Mhm.
The matching was good. There wasn't
There weren't just
90-10s.
blowouts.
There wasn't 90-10s
Yeah.
or 80-20s. There was fair fights, and a couple of them journeymen come to have a go. There was two guys they swung it at until the home corner ended up winning.
Yeah,
But
it could have gone either way.
could have gone either way,
Yeah.
given that the other boy didn't want it as much.
Mhm.
So the matching was good matching, but it wasn't 50-50 matching.
Agreed.
Like I said to you last night, is it not beyond the realms of possibility that some of these promoters can put some of their homeboys in opposite corners, just mix the corners up?
He is this
Yeah.
weird thing. He has
Yeah.
this weird, and it makes
It's
sense.
true.
Because,
makes
because
sense,
I've been
yeah.
at shows before, and people have said to me,
Just the blue
Rich,
corner,
there's a
yeah.
lot of winners coming out of the blue corner. I seem to see an Eastern European coming over and getting his head bashed in the other corner, and just a home local boy winning the other corner. Why can't promoters you're still the homeboy. Does it matter what corner you're in? I wouldn't care. Stick them in the other corner. Mix it up. Just for the viewers.
Yeah,
just for
definitely.
the viewers, you know.
In my
Last night, I'm sure there was a boxer or a team of boxers with the same pair of shorts and they velcroed on a new name every time they boxed.
Yeah.
The ones that were sponsored by cigarettes.
Yeah, they do. I can't remember their names. They do. Two of them wear the same shorts every now and then.
It's mad.
Yeah.
What do you think? It could work?
No, definitely.
Would you be bothered what corner you're put in?
Not really. I wouldn't give a shit, to be fair. But you're right, because in my last fight, all the teachers that I brought from like my school and all that, they were like, "Oh, all the red corners are losing."
Yeah.
They noticed it. So
and it just shows you they're not big boxing fans. Well, they might be. I might be wrong, but
no, they're not. They're not. They're just genuine people with common sense that can see that. So, yeah.
So listen, I know British Warriors. Listen, that's one. It's not just you. It's a weird boxing thing. Away corner and home corner. Why should it be that way?
This goes for all shows.
Yeah,
Open shows, MTK shows. It's just the way, but it's tradition more than anything.
Yeah, it is tradition.
It's tradition more than anything. But
that's
why
your
can't
corner. That's the home corner.
Yeah, why can't we break the mould just through? I think it's good for business. I think we're better for business. Just because people that don't know boxing that might come to one or two fights and think, yeah, you just sort of go there and watch loads of local boys beat up a load of
Eastern
randomers.
Europeans.
Yeah.
I've never heard this said before, and you sit there and go, why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, what does it really matter if you're?
Well, I was thinking about it
if Chavez turns up 2-0 and he's fighting a guy who's 4-15 or whatever, and he just happens to be in the blue corner rather than the red, is that going to have any bearing on him as?
The only way I thought maybe it's
Definitely not.
easier
It's a
for them
fight.
to do the organising of the show when they're like, right,
See,
all the blues in there, we're sending all the blue gloves in there.
Oh, for the changing rooms backstage probably,
But really,
and occasionally.
have an extra whip. Have an extra
Yeah.
whip. Have an extra whip to help it out.
I don't even know. I don't think you'd need an extra whip. All you see is the. A lot of the times the Eastern Europeans will come over and they won't have a seconds, so there'll be a resident seconds who's working for the show and he just sits in that corner. But he might have to come out of that corner if there is the occasional 50-50 or title fight.
Walk all the way around the outside of the ring.
He'll walk all the way to the other side of the
All
ring.
that way?
The whole way round.
Damn.
Well, it's halfway, isn't it? From blue round to red.
Halfway around the ring.
But yeah, why not?
That's
Definitely
crazy.
mix it
All
up,
the way
man.
around the other side of the ring.
I wonder if there's any boys that would go, well, no, then I wouldn't feel like I'm in the home corner.
Who cares,
So
man?
what, winning the
Who
away
cares
corner
where you
then?
are?
Would the ref get confused? Oh no, wait.
Well, that's been done
Hold on,
before.
wait.
Isn't it? Wait, I've got to make him win. What's happening
Yeah,
here?
that's what I'm saying. Hold on. I don't know who's supposed to win
Yeah.
here.
Well, they should just announce him as the ticket seller. This is the ticket seller, but he's going to be in this corner. Don't worry about it.
They should just mix it up, man. Mix and match.
It's a
easier.
good idea.
Some in the neutral corner, some in the
Some in
blue.
the red corner against neutral corner. Let's see, man. Yeah, but yeah, something different. But yeah, so that was the case last night.
Listen,
Every home
promoters,
corner.
I'd like to see it. Think about it.
Think about
I'd
it.
love it. I think it
Indeed.
make a show look a lot more exciting. You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't if you go to a show and then you don't know the boxers and they're both, let's say, English and you haven't really box rectum or anything. Or if they've both got, obviously some journeymen look like journeymen with their Lonsdales and their Lonsdale
Stripy
boots
shorts.
straight out of Sports World, yeah. But some of them do have decent kits and they look like they've gone out and bought a nice kit. If you get two boxers like that, you wouldn't. If they were to mix the corners up, you wouldn't always be able to tell who the home corner is.
Yeah, it's
Do
true.
you think that
That's
would
true.
change results? Would it change results if the ref didn't know?
He's asking his own questions to himself and he's answering them. He's fucking going off on one, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
His brain is going
It
overtime.
could, it could do that. It could confuse people, but
Resident
at the end of the day-
podcaster now, so
He's a new man.
I'm trying to step up.
It'd be good. It'd be interesting. Someone should try it. British Warriors seem to
They
be
should try
trying. Just try it. See what happens.
try
And,
new things.
and listen, if one of your home guys gets beat because he's in the away corner, maybe he ain't that good.
Indeed.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say I haven't seen favourable decisions before. So, you know, let's see. It might separate the, what's the saying, the wheat from the chaff. It might work.
Like when I got robbed in the home corner.
When you got robbed in the
50
home
grand.
corner, yeah. If you'd been in the blue corner,
So if
you'd
I
have
was in
been
the blue
laughing.
corner, it would have been different.
Highlight, right? So yeah, that's not a negative to British Warriors. That's in general we're saying
Yeah,
for
that's
boxing.
that's just.
Yeah, negative wise, it was a shame that their main event fell off, which was Louis Green and Jez Smith for the Southern area. That fell off about a week or two ago because of an injury, I think. Listen, they told us. That's all I ask. Let us know because we turned up to the other show and it was all up in the air. We didn't know the main event was off. We got told well in advance this was the card. They released a fight schedule, which is all I ask. To turn up and know what's happening, who's boxing when. They're doing things the correct way. Their home fighters, they've got some very, very good fighters. I'll say that. Chris Congo, although he wasn't in a good fight last night.
Brilliant fighter.
Who did Congo box? He boxed... Trisno. So Trisno, was it 70 seconds he ended up...
He's the kickboxer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the kickboxer.
But-
No. Trisno's the guy with the blue and gold WBO, WBC badge on his shorts.
I'm not going to be racist, but they all look the same to me, Rich. Okay,
No, that's
they just look like away corner to me.
No, that's racist.
They look like away
that's
corner
racist.
fighters. All right, that's how I feel.
No.
Yes,
No.
I feel like I'm
No,
fucking
you're
sticking
out of
by
order.
it. Don't, listen, you stop getting so big for
One
your
of them-
boots because you're sitting on the box.
One of them wears Thai boxing shorts. One of them represents a cigarette company. And one of them's got a WBC or WBA badge, alright? Focus!
Sorry.
It might be the same fighter, just wearing different shorts,
Oh, see.
admittedly, but...
Chris Congo was he's impressive. I love Chris Congo.
He's a good
man.
fighter, man.
Big
Definitely.
fan
We
of
look
him.
well, we look well.
Good
Have you know him well?
I know him well. Never sparred with him, but
That's not what
Yeah.
you said earlier.
nah.
You said you beat shit out of him.
That's not what you said earlier when you said you dropped him.
You can't.
You said Chris who? Never heard of her. That's what you said.
No, I'm
No, he's
a
good
big
friend
I'm a
of
big
mine.
fan of Chris.
Yeah,
He's
so
a
am
lovely
I.
bloke as well. Literally
Yeah.
so quiet. And there's his first fight last night with Jimmy Mack and Jimmy Mack Jr. in his
Yeah.
corner. Looked a bit strange to me. Like, you know, just you've seen him with Bammy his whole career, and the
Yeah,
bricks
yeah,
that-
no, I know.
obviously Isaac and John Harden Jr. were still there supporting him. They've always got love for each other, which is good to see. You couldn't learn anything from last night. That's that
Too
old
quick for him.
that old saying. He's had harder spars was truer than that last night. You know, the guy just didn't want it. It was the truth. Chris put it on him, had him in the ropes, in the corner.
I wouldn't blame the matchmaker for that though, because that guy.
No, because
usually
Trisno's a
yeah,
good guy.
He's tough.
Yeah,
He's tough. Like,
I say good guy. Listen, we know their limitations. We're not fucking stupid. But
listen, he doesn't
he
go there
comes
to
to
win.
fight.
He doesn't
Yeah.
go there to win, but he don't get stopped.
yeah.
Don't get stopped. Not like that either. He sat in that corner.
So for
Sat in
after
that neutral corner on the floor and thought.
fuck
He
this.
got up and the ref was like, "You're all right," and he kind of hesitated. Do I look all right?
Mm-hmm.
Not really, mate. No.
Save me!
Yeah. He was he'd had enough pretty early. And listen, who knows how hard Chris hits? He had a good fight with Surgeon Bombo on the what was that? The Dillian White bill,
I think it was.
It was because he was on that card. So he's going to be in big fights, Chris. He is.
Okay. I see.
He's going to be in some good fights, some tough fights. Last night wasn't one of them, but it might have been good for him to get a nice little quick victory under his new trainer. And
Oh,
Yeah, listen. It's nice to have a nice knockout like that.
I
every now and
noticed
then.
Alex Bishop was on that as well.
yeah, Bishop.
Yeah, he's a
I
good
got there
fighter.
in during his fight.
He's a good fighter. I used to spar him down at Finchley all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's a good fighter.
Well,
Strong fighter.
You saw his whole fight. I got there in the second round of his fight, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I've watched the whole thing. No.
You were too busy giving your fucking business cards out, weren't you?
You know what I mean? Listen,
Richie
No, I'm not
Gray
doing it, man. I'm not doing it.
Why are you wearing sunglasses inside
Yeah,
your
it's
prick?
true, you know. And why you got your top off, bro?
What's going on here?
What's going on here, bro?
fucking geezer. That's why.
He's going to get like a podcast hashtag or tattoo or something. Look at him, he's so free, isn't he?
What are you talking about?
And he does bike riding now.
I know.
Podcast hashtagging. I've got the tattoo.
Yeah, I
bro,
know, you've got
so-
the fight talk.
He's
Where's
a,
your
he's a
tattoo?
father and
Oh,
practicing.
I got the
okay.
Richie tattoo. Let
We've
me
got each other's tattoo on you. If you want to come back on this podcast, bro, you can get a tattoo.
I got a Richie Gray tattoo. He's got a fight talk
I've got-
tattoo.
I'll get a fucking tattoo, boys. Fuck.
He's just got here, man.
Not just
Give him a
any
fucking
tattoo.
chance.
Yeah, you should have told me in a small print, look, to come to this podcast.
Yeah,
with the
that's
tattoo.
the rules. Rame's got his as so that's
We've
the
got a
rules.
tattoo gun out there. We can do it live on the podcast.
Do you know? I want to do a
Do it live on the
special.
podcast.
Bassett and hair tattoo. I've already sorted out of him.
Yeah.
Harry
We're do a
Richards.
podcast special in the tattoo chair.
Get on my Instagram and check out Harry.
Yeah,
Bassett and Hair Tattoo Company.
definitely. Last year's Christmas special was me, Craig, Dino, and Jamani just getting drunk.
The bill. See
You
the fight bill.
want to see the fight card?
No, I see Jimmy Smith on there as well.
I watched that one.
Was that against Poochie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good kid. Listen, he was a good kid. That Jimmy Smith looked good.
I like Lewis Van
He had
Zant.
almost.
I like Jimmy Smith,
I questioned
man. He's a
if
good
he could
fighter
punch.
as well.
I questioned if he could punch because he weren't really hurting Poochie. And in the last round,
Yeah, Poochie.
Poochie looked like he was.
Yeah.
He was landing right hand after right hand after right
See,
hand.
even
Good
one
fight.
thing I say, Chavez wasn't there, and he's looked at it and gone, "Good fighter, good fighter." Good. Do you know what I mean? So
fighter.
they're doing one bit of it right, aren't they? Let's be honest. Their home fighters are good fighters.
They've
Definitely.
got a lot of good fighters.
That Jimmy Smith was down at Repton, I remember back in the day.
Just watching him, I said he looked like he was well schooled. And I asked you about him, and you said you didn't know anything about his amateur.
No.
He looked well schooled.
I'm sure he won a couple of ABA titles. I'm sure he did. Yeah. He's a good fighter, definitely.
Alfie Price, he looked good. He fought Fonz Alexander, but
Who also isn't a mug. I've
Fonz
seen
is
him
not a
before.
mug.
I've seen him before. I see him box.
He had one of the worst robberies I've seen
Martin
on
McDonough.
television.
I watched him box,
Oh yeah.
and obviously Martin outclassed him.
Oh, the short fella.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No,
He comes
yeah.
down the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Fonz won't get anyone an easy night.
Do you know
If
who?
he can hit
Do you know
you,
who
he
he
will.
clearly beat and got robbed? He absolutely battered Sanjeev Sahota on television. Dropped him twice. The guy's head was all over the place. It should have
Oh.
been stopped. You know Sanjeev,
Yeah,
who
so
your
the one
gym
that
mate, ID.
he boxed ID.
ID beat him by a point, and they gave it to him by a point. Frank Warren fighter, innit?
Yeah.
But Fonz battered him in a leisure centre. I think it was.
Ooh.
No, he did. He
He's
battered him.
battered him in the leisure centre.
Battered him. He won by a point. He give it to him.
I'm telling you now, that was one of the worst. I think he dropped him twice, or it was a 4-rounder, and he dropped him twice or something, and they ended up giving it by a point.
Listen,
to
you
Sanjeev,
can go
I
down
thought,
and
this
get
is
up and
wrong.
win in the fight.
Alright.
It's easy to go down and get back up and win.
We have to put up with this every week, him defending himself. It's alright, Rich, okay?
Get over it, Rich.
Get over it.
Have the rematch. Whoa. Let's not get too hasty.
Who were the big cruisers? Oh, Darren Gibbons and Aaron Green. They were the two cruisers who just had they just threw bombs for... was it the first or second
when I
round?
recorded?
Yeah.
When I recorded,
I don't know if it ended in the
Twitter.
first or the second round. It might have been the second.
I think it was the second.
How did that Ryan Charles get on? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, he's good. Listen, he's...
Oh, is that the one that was in the Worlds and all that in the amateurs?
Yeah, he was...
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
I wasn't overly
impressed.
impressed with him.
I heard a lot about him. I'd heard that he'd done this in the amateurs, was in the Worlds.
He's done
I
a lot
heard
of things in the amateurs,
Someone
yeah.
told me he was lazy. Like he doesn't work as hard as he could in the gym, and he's super talented, but doesn't put the work to back it up.
Yeah.
And last night when he come out and I was told how good he was, I thought, oh great, it's going to be good this. And then to be honest, when I watched it, I thought, I don't see it. I don't see it now. It's a big thing. What you do in the amateurs doesn't always translate to the pros.
Definitely.
But that kind of level amateurs, it's hard to not be good in the pros.
Yeah.
He fought a tough guy, Phil Williams. I think he made his debut not long ago. So that was only his second last night. So he's kind of an unknown quantity as well. You fight someone who's only had one fight, and it was fairly recent. You're not gonna necessarily know a lot about it. Mate, listen, let's. I wasn't overly impressed with Ryan Charles. I can't say that. But what I can say is,
him out, but I just expected more of
We'll
him.
be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got to be honest. I expected a little more from him, but it wasn't like I watched him and thought, "You're not good." Do you know what I mean? You can see it,
Equally,
but
some people
Just
lower
performance, man. It could be
themselves.
Yeah,
performance,
exactly.
yeah.
some
Exactly.
people
How
lower
you feel on
themselves
the
to
night.
opponents and then
Yes.
raise themselves to opponents. It's easy for a good boxer to look bad against a bad boxer because they think. I'm too
there are
good for
many
this.
many examples of that where boys.
Loads
Yeah,
of
loads of
so
time, but-
perhaps now he's gone from boxing at a very high level in the amateurs to boxing at low level in the
It
pros.
might be hard for
He
him.
might think, oh, well, I just can't get up for it. He might just. That's the thing with Johnny Coyle, who boxed. We'll come to that later, but he looked in phenomenal shape. Doesn't always look in that shape, but now he's got a fight to be prepared for.
Yeah,
It means a lot different. So maybe that's the case.
definitely. Before we talk about Jeff Afori, because there's a question about him. One or two others. Sherelle Brown, she's a tough lady, man. And
I know who that is.
yeah,
I know who that
and
is.
she boxed a girl that Richie.
I almost fancied.
He
when the
almost
lights came on.
fancied. He
I
described
was
her.
like, okay, yeah, she looks nice from the side. Yeah,
From
okay.
the side, you know.
Yeah, listen, she walked in, she had her back to us, and she had blonde hair. I thought, oh, okay, yeah. Text the missus, babe, wedding's off. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly what he did. It's exactly what he did.
I texted her, I was like, wedding's off, babe. I've just seen a bird. She can fight. Like, you ain't gonna win if it comes to a fight, so you're out. And then the fight, when I went to announce the result, she's looking around. All of a sudden, she looked straight up at the middle. And I was like, I nearly fell off my chair. I was like, no, wedding's back on.
I'm sorry.
You're a prick, aren't you?
Listen, to be fair, that was probably one of the best live competitive female bats I've ever seen.
Very good fight. And the
They're
girl
both
was
good
there
box.
to fight.
They're both
It
good
was 6
It
rounds,
was
wasn't it?
six rounder.
6 rounds, yeah. 6-2s. No, it was a good fight, man. And I kind of like seeing the occasional women fight. If they're going to be as evenly matched as
If they're
that,
going to fight, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like it when one's defenceless.
yeah.
Yeah.
That woman's a fighter. You know what I mean? You can tell she's... I don't know her record. I haven't looked into any of that, but she could box. She wasn't just there just to pick up a grand and then walk away or whatever. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So
man.
I respect that.
All in all, that's a good builder. I like it.
Yes,
A lot of interesting names on there. A lot of good names on there.
definitely.
Pretty sick.
That
can't
that
lie.
was... Listen, for a small hall show, the boxers on it, very impressed with.
Was that your call? Yeah.
Again, listen,
Yeah,
it wasn't
Banging.
a bad.
It was a banging build.
It wasn't a
can't
bad
lie.
show. Listen, it wasn't a bad show. You can't say it was a bad show. The music was nice, and some of the fights there was a little bit of music playing when they were fighting, but I actually liked it.
I don't know. I think that was a
DJ.
DJ mistake.
It was a DJ mistake, but actually it was alright. The fighters were good. There was good fighters on the show. There was no 50-50s,
No, they weren't.
but the matching was good. The
But
matching was good.
having looking through those guys on that card, who at this stage, I mean, Chris Congo's next fight is going to be for the Southern area, I believe, right?
What weight
Yeah.
is he?
He's super light,
Super.
super
No,
super
no,
well,
super
super
well.
well. Sorry,
He's
154.
light,
Yeah,
so he's
sorry,
fighting-
154.
You'd be fighting Bird.
No, he's middleweight. So it's
No,
gonna.
Billy Bird is light middleweight.
He's
Super
the
welter.
middleweight.
Super welter.
All right, so it can't be. He's got to be boxing at welter then. He's boxing at welter, Chris, because it's
think
Louis
so.
Green and Jez Smith.
It's got to be because
Yeah, it's
Matt
not
McCarthy
Bird
being
and Matt.
able to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
well.
All right, so let me get this fucking right. All these weights piss me off. Chris Congo is
good
mandated.
job. Good job. I'm here in the
It is a
home
good
corner.
job you're here. Welterweight Southern area.
It's all right,
Man.
Craig. I'll take your place. I'll look after him for you, mate.
So he's going to fight the winner of Louis Green and Jez Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chris Congo's got the ability to go all the way, to be honest with you. He's definitely a well-schooled fighter.
When people say all the way, people use that term a lot.
What's your definition
What's your
of
definition
all the way?
of all the way?
World title.
Yeah?
World title.
See, if everyone that people said I can go all the way won a world title, we'd need more world titles, and we've
It's
got
weird.
enough of them.
I haven't actually thought about that answer myself, but for me, if any boxer wins the British, or even if they don't win it, but if they're around British level, they've done exceptional compared to however many percentage of fighters.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
to go above and beyond that, I think it's a lot of times it's hard to predict when a guy's 7, 8, 9 and 0 how far he'll literally go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chris has something.
Definitely. I'm sure he boxed. What's his name? Is it Josh Kelly? I'm sure he boxed Josh Kelly in the ABAs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in. Yeah, he did.
He's been around a long time. Cause
That'd be a good fight, actually. Them two. That'd
Yeah.
actually be a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. I'll pay to watch that.
And he's had a lot of sparring in with Josh Taylor as well. He has a lot of sparring in there and the Cyclone boys.
Josh Taylor, he's with McGuigan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you spied him. Yeah, we're going to come to him. There's a question about him. He's in the World Boxing Super Series now. The new
That's pretty good for him.
that's announced. But the final thing I want to touch on from that British Warriors show.
Oh, no, it is.
Actually, Jeff thought he got so excited he threw.
Part of it.
Was that part of it?
And then he lost his glasses yesterday by triathlon.
In your triathlon.
Oh man, we'll talk about triathlons later.
We
That's
won't.
chapter 2 of the podcast. Richie Gray and triathlons.
That's from home. That's just your Instagram live, I'm afraid. Right. One question on
I'm calling
Jeffrey.
out everyone from every weight. If you want to step up to a triathlon, get at me.
Why have I lost the question now? Jeffrey Ofori. Basically, it's about Jeffrey Ofori. It's from the Mayor of Brixton, the question. You met him last night.
Yeah.
Top man bought us a
Lovely to
beer.
meet him.
Top
Bought us a
man,
beer.
bro.
Didn't buy me a beer, bought me a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Water.
Water,
H2O. Corporation pot.
We weren't drinking while we were there as media.
I
Not
don't
at all.
drink.
Disgraceful. But his question, Jeffrey Ofori is now mandated to to challenge the Southern Area lightweight champion, Jamani Camaro, on the 15th
Super
of September.
undefeated Jamani
Super
Camaro.
Yeah, the MC announced it as undefeated Jamani, who we know isn't undefeated. He's 5-2, Southern Area champion. He said, "Look, we know your feelings about the guys. Can we have an honest prediction and how the fight will go?" So, do you know about any of them?
I've seen Jeffrey box 1 or 2 times. Not really. Been more focused on he's boxed in a few shows that I've boxed at. I think. So I haven't really watched him like that. But I think his coach is Bevis. I think it is from Islington.
Could well be.
I think it is. I'm not sure, but yeah. How much fights he's had?
Was that 6-0 or 7-0? He went last night.
6 or 7, man.
He went. I think he went 6 or 7 last night. That's the first time I've seen him. He's sort of been spoken about quite a lot on social media and stuff lately in the last, I'd say, 6 to 9 months. Everyone says what a nice bloke he is. I'm sure he is. He's a good fighter, man. From what I seen last night, a pressure fighter. He liked to walk. He walked his opponent down, didn't he? Good work rate. Was it? How many rounds did it go?
For 6.
Was it 6? It went all 6,
went the
didn't it?
schedule
Off the top of my head, it was 6.
Yeah, he fought Luke Fash. No, he stopped him.
No, he did stop him.
He did stop him. He did stop him. Yeah,
no, I
he
did. But did I record that?
He did stop because I said send it to Jamani.
They need to have a predator off.
It's a predator off.
Loser shaves their hair.
Listen,
Winner
Jamani's
is the official.
What do you
Jamani's
think this is,
dreads.
WWF or something?
Winner is the official Predator King.
Jamani's dreads are too long to even compete. He's the number 1 predator. Don't worry about Jamani. Jamani wins the hair off, no doubt.
Listen, don't ever go at me. I'm just saying what the people want to hear. They want to see a predator off. And the loser goes home with nothing. You're not a predator anymore.
From what you've seen of him last night, Jeffrey, and knowing Jamani, for lightweight, Jamani is long. Like when he boxed at 2 days' notice against Kuwait at welterweight, he was still the longer man, mental. So, seeing how big he is at lightweight and comparing him to Jeffrey yesterday, how do you think that fight plays out?
Jeffrey looks strong.
This is on the same bill as you, by the way.
Yeah.
15th of September.
I think, was it a good one, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm on the same bill as you as well.
Are you on that one as well?
Yeah, we're on that one as well. We're going as
Look at
well,
this.
baby. We're going as well.
Yeah, it's happening.
Listen, I think I don't think Jamani's a big puncher.
No,
But I think he's awkward and slippery. I also
and
think
he's got a good work rate.
He's got for me, he's gonna work hard. He's gonna keep it awkward, keep it slippery. Jamani's not easy hurt. I don't think I've seen Jamani hurt, and he's boxed 2 weight divisions above his actual weight. So
what's his ability?
Yes, Jeffrey can punch, but Jamani can't be hurt. We haven't seen him hurt.
Yeah.
So let's assume he can't be hurt. So he can't hurt him, but he can outwork him. So it's a great fight. Let's see what happens when Jamani gets hit hard. Will he stick it on him and stay on him? If he's strong enough to trap Jamani on the ropes and keep him there, as he steps blocking, cut him off, could be awkward. But if Jamani can use his space well, he can throw awkward angles, stay slippery, stay out of sight, pop shot, boom, 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 move off. I think Jamani could have an easy night's work.
I think Jamani has to keep it at range.
How they both respond.
He's so different.
He's not a boxer. He's not going to jab 1-2, 1-2 left hook. He's going to jab left hook, right hook, spin off the left hook, come back with a right hook.
He's
left hook.
He's
straight right. He's very
he doesn't even know what he's gonna do.
And he's been down the gym loads of times.
Sure.
You've seen him spar, and he does low head rolls. Jamani he gets low under the rolls.
Yeah.
So let's see. That guy likes to get very, very close. He's not mid range. He's like super close.
He looked
range.
quite small arms as well.
Super close range. So for me, I think we'll find out in the first 2 rounds whether Jamani's okay with his strength and power, assuming the other guy's stronger. He might not even be. It doesn't always work out that way. If the other guy's physically stronger with more power, we'll see how Jamani responds to that. Equally, we'll have to see how Jeffrey responds to Jamani being awkward.
And jabbing him from a distance and then coming around the sides,
it could be he traps Jamani and batters him up for the whole fight. Equally, he might not get nowhere near Jamani. Jamani could beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I like to go with Jamani because I've never seen Jamani hurt, so Jamani could outbox him.
That's a fair. It's a fair. I'm going to say Jamani's going to win because he's my mate.
No, I'm trying to tell the people what they want to hear.
No, Jamani's my mate and he's the nicest guy in the world.
He's my mate, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah? What was that?
That was you sucking Jamani off.
Oh, fucking hell.
Come on, boy.
We're not that close.
That's not what the people want.
We're not that close.
That's not what the people want. The people want honesty, Sam.
I think you're right. I think Jamani, if he's smart and he keeps it at range, which he didn't do in his defeat against
actually I have seen Jamani. I have seen Jamani shook before.
Wait, who beat him quickly? Not Freddie Kiewit. That was the fight 2 weights up on 2 days notice. Not that fight. Before he won the Southern area, he lost to a guy who's always in the away corner, and it's annoying me. But he basically let the guy dictate the pace of the fight, which is why he got beat. And he learned from it, but you can't allow that to happen again.
I have actually seen Jamani hurt in sparring before. Actually,
it's annoying me. I need to Google it.
Be it against a guy of heavy hands, I have seen. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but he has been hurt before. But I don't think this Jeffrey punches as hard as whoever hit Jamani that day.
I'm right. Final predictions: Jamani Camaro wins to a late stoppage.
Well, I don't know about that.
He stopped Dave Birmingham when he started putting on him. Birmingham was a lot shorter, couldn't get near him, and ended up getting picked apart. And I think Jamani can do the same to a 4 because of the range and the awkwardness he has. That's
Jamani by tight decision.
Jamani via friendship.
Jamani by a ropey judging decision.
Don't say ropey. No, he's going to win.
The best man for me will win.
It's going to be close.
The guy that's right on the night.
I think it'll be close. Depends what.
I like that. The best man on the night. Sit on that fence.
Yeah, man. You've got to do it.
Nah, that's weak.
It's not. It's
not weak.
I don't do that.
Listen, okay.
He just said he ain't
Some
seen
will
them.
get KO'd, innit?
You don't know them both.
I don't know them both, so I can't really speak on it, but the right guy will win, innit?
Whoever can implement their game plan.
I don't think Jamani cares at this point. I think he's just happy to have someone challenge for his belt.
He is buzzing to have a fight. Like
and that could be, and that's what it is. That could be dangerous. Some people don't care about the records; they don't care. They just want to have a fight, and that could.
That's all Jamani wants.
That's all Jamani wants.
He took a fight. He took a fight. Like had 3 weight divisions above his own at something like a week's notice.
Yeah, about 3 days.
So that's like you fighting
to fight on TV.
That's like you fighting at cruiserweight or light heavyweight.
Yeah, he's just one of them guys who likes to fight. So obviously,
he just
you've got someone trying to protect their record and go up, and you've got someone that just doesn't care. They want to have a fight.
Yeah.
And try and knock the shit out of you. So
records are for DJs.
Records are for DJs, but also helps you sell yourself a bit more better.
But people like the best records though.
Hey, but no, 100%. He's right because a lot of the and what it does a lot of the time, if you're someone who sells tickets to people that don't necessarily follow boxing and stuff, being an undefeated boxer will do a lot more than you go. Oh, I'm 4-2. People go, oh yeah. But if you have the word undefeated, it might help with a bit of.
It helps a little bit.
Sponsors.
It helps a little bit. Obviously, these are just fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just fans.
Just
Without just fans, mate, you wouldn't get the box.
I know. I'm saying
Take that word. Take that back out.
You can't take it back now. We've said it. It's down.
Jamani's 6-2, by the way, and the defeat he had was against Ross Jameson in his 4th bout.
What point? Was it point?
Yeah, he got beat on points over 4 rounds by Ross Jameson, lost by a point. And then went after that, put 3 together, winning the Southern area, and obviously then fought Freddie Kiewit 2 weights up, and now he's going to defend his Southern area against Jeffrey Ofori. So yeah, listen, he's just going to be buzzing his fighting, man. So
is that a 10 rounder? Yeah.
Yeah, 10 rounds.
They'll also base it on as well, like how much times they've both done 10 rounders as well. Who's got the more experience in that department?
Yeah, Jeffrey would have gone 6 or no? Don't you have to box in an 8 rounder to challenge for the Southern area?
I don't think you do.
Don't think you could do 6. I think.
Well, Jamani went with Kiewit. He went the distance, so we know he can do that. He went 8 rounds with.
Did he do an 8 round?
Let's have a look if Jeffrey did 8 rounds. No, he's only ever had a 6.
A 6. That could play a part.
Jamani went 8 with Freddie at welterweight, so
that could play a part. The later rounds could all.
I was so impressed with Jamani that night.
He
did not look out of place at all. 2 weights up, 3 weights up, wherever it was, he did not look out of place at all.
No. And that was hilarious. So that was on the Haymaker bill on the Friday night, and then he came back here. We stayed here and we drove up to Manchester for Groves Eubank the next morning, and we're walking around the arena, and obviously loads of people were going, "Did you box last night?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did." If people were getting pictures of him and that, he's like, "Fucking best thing I ever did." Man became a celebrity overnight. So he just wants to fight. He really.
There's a song about that, isn't there?
Something like that, Twister.
I was trying to think what it was.
That's what I was trying to think as well. Like,
get rid of the Power song. We got a new theme tune.
No, Power is the theme tune for this week's one.
Love Island is the theme tune.
Power's back tonight, and how you don't know, how you've never seen it, either of you.
Hashtag Love Island.
It's a little embarrassing, to be honest.
I don't really watch TV.
Despite the way Megan is, she's alright.
I've never watched it. Now stop it.
What
I've seen them.
People who watch Love Island know what I'm talking about.
I watched Rocky 1 once.
When?
Years and years ago. And I thought, this is dog shit, innit?
So you turn it off and then watch the rest? You haven't seen it?
I've probably seen it all the way through, and it's that long ago. And then I've seen bits of all of them. And then, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, Rocky 2 was on telly.
And you watched it?
I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have it on. And I was sitting there going, this is shit. How any grown man thinks Rocky is any good is beyond me. The training montages are fucking epic. That's it. That is it. Literally it. Storyline shit. The acting is shit. The boxing is horrendous. The films are shit.
I know, innit?
I know a guy that flew to Philadelphia to stand by the statue and put his hands up like Rocky did. True story.
What geezer? Where is he?
He's a white collar boxer.
I want to meet him.
If you
I'll leave that there. He's a nice guy, white collar boxer. I was undefeated white collar boxer. Just saying, like, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Just throw that out there.
He's too old.
Good fight,
I'd smack him up. I'd come out in Rocky shorts just to piss him off. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand.
It is crazy though. If you was like Rocky when he was fighting Apollo Creed, I think you would just die.
Yeah, you would.
They
block punches with their face, man.
You would die, man.
Well, Apollo didn't he? Rest in peace, Apollo.
Listen, I don't know what you're going on about. 19 knockdowns in 1 round is completely legit.
It is not. What's the score? What does the scorecard read on that?
-4.
Yeah. Dreadful. The films are shit.
You're getting knocked down like 6 times around.
Yeah, that's what was happening. The ref
and then you're winning in the last.
Yeah.
The films are not shit.
They are
but
shit.
I appreciate your comments.
Thanks.
I take your comments on board.
Thank you so much. Films are shit.
Your face is shit.
Your mum. Oh shit!
Whoa, boys, below the belt now.
All right. You didn't watch any of the card on Box Nation apart from what we just watched there, did you? BT Sports, sorry, the Belfast Frank Warren card.
I watched
this is
Johnny
the card.
Coyle,
Yeah,
and I
that's
spoke to Casey Blair, who was on the show.
Yeah. So we're going to just breeze over a few of the fights on it. Johnny Coyle, as a former gym mate of both of you boys. First of all, Chavez.
Former conqueror of Chavez.
He's a prick, isn't he? Alright. He's done it now.
He's done it.
Tell us about Johnny Coyle, Chavez.
He's a good boxer.
Do you remember
slick.
it?
Oh, shut up,
You're such a wanker.
He's a good boxer. He's slick. What can I say, man? Obviously, I boxed him twice. He's at
1.5, really.
Richie's trying to kill me, man. It's alright, Richie. Get over it. It's fine.
Oh, Jesus.
It's alright, man. It's alright.
Undefeated pro, right?
Yeah. Man. We've got a little history. You know, he stopped me as an amateur. Yeah, man. He's a good fighter. What can I say about him? Like, he captained.
No, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
What does Johnny box at now?
What is he? Well, yesterday, you see the shape he was in?
Oh, he looked
He
phenomenal.
looked good.
He weighed 141 pounds, so 140 pounds.
Come on.
He used to captain.
That
Team GB as well as an amateur as well. Listen, this kid's good, man.
He's been around for a long time.
He's been around for a long time. He's a good kid.
And last night he had his big. I suppose his
He's
big
been waiting
coming
for something
out.
like that for ages, like to get on a big show for a fight.
I mean, he won the prize fight. From that point on, he should have been
Yeah,
out
but
there.
he'd been in Stell for a while.
Yeah, he beat Eggington in that prize fight.
The thing is with Johnny, and he never looks in phenomenal shape. And I think what made a difference last night is that usually when he's boxing people that he's going to beat up or journeyman, it's hard for him to get up for it. He thinks, what's the point in making a championship weight? Like he said it in the press conference. The guy was like, you can't make weight because Johnny was something like £2 over, which you're allowed to do. So he said, why am I going to make championship weight when it's not a championship fight?
Yeah.
So, and this is against another legit contender. When Johnny's fighting journeyman, he probably thinks, oh, I ain't got no time for getting down to 64 or 62, whatever it is he makes. Might as well box at 70, 71.
Yeah.
That's why he looks a bit fleshy most of the time. Last night, you'll see a bit more of a real Johnny, although I don't think he performed the best he can. Johnny's way better than what he looked. He looked like more wild than I've seen. Johnny sharp, crisp, throws combinations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, spins out 1, 2 on the way out. Johnny's crisp and precise. Last night he seemed to be a little bit more wild, perhaps because he wanted to prove a point. He tried to take the guy out. Who knows? But
occasion as well, man. As well,
big television show as well.
I get that. I think
he was the first.
Johnny's way better than that.
I think Johnny's better than to get brought down by a show. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think Johnny let an occasion bring him down. I think Johnny's better than that.
Okay. He got the win.
He got the win
by a point. I think it was. It was a close fight.
Wins a win.
Wins a win. Lewis Benson was 10-0 going into that, so he was, that was a 50-50 fight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he comes out with the win, so that's all you can ask, innit?
Listen, now Johnny's won that. Hopefully, Johnny can get a title shot. He's been banging on the door for a title for a long time, taking these fights that he probably doesn't want to take against journeyman and ticking over. So hopefully now he'll get something, anything. We're
going to breeze through a couple of the others that were on there.
What do you think?
Gary Corcoran got a victory last night, back to winning ways. Sonny Edwards was on it as well. Sonny Edwards got a win.
Oh yeah, I know both of them.
I do want to touch on the Jack Catterall Tyrone McKenna fight. I know you boys haven't seen it yet. That Jack Catterall, mate, he's so fucking tough, isn't he? Have you ever seen him box?
I think once.
He's fucking. Last night he took his foot off the gas. He dropped McKenna, I think, twice. But the thing with Jack Catterall, he should never have vacated that British. He was the British champion, vacated, and now he's fighting for like WBO Intercontinental titles and stuff. There's some big fights out there for him. I know Hara Davis wants him, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. You trying to fast forward it to? Where are you trying to find the Jack Catterall fight? Let's have a look at it. So yeah, we just watched a little bit of Jack Catterall. He dropped Tyrone McKenna 3 times in the end, So bit keen. He ended up smashing him when he was on one knee and got a point deducted for doing it. But
did he?
Yeah, he'd just gone down and he punched fuck out of him as he was on the way. Lost a point for that, but he's tough, man. I want to see him against O'Hara Davis.
That'd be a good fight.
That's the fight that makes sense to me. I think they both under.
Where's O'Hara Davis at now? What's his?
He won recently, didn't he?
What's his?
Yeah, he won last week.
What's his current movement? You know what I mean?
I think.
Is he rebuilding? Is he?
No, I think he's done that. He's had his 2 comeback fights. One thing that does worry me with O'Hara, he doesn't have a head trainer. He had Barry
Smith
in his corner, but he's not his trainer. I was in that gym when he was sparring not long ago, and Barry was with Robert Osagba.
Yeah.
And O'Hara sort of comes in for sparring. They have a good relationship, but he's not his head trainer. That's as simple as you can put it. His head trainer is one of his mates, and
doesn't work like that, does it?
Yeah. So that's the only thing that would worry me with O'Hara. But he wants money fights. He says it. He wants his money fights now. I don't think he particularly cares about titles. Maybe he does. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he wants fights that are going to make money. Him and Jack Catterall would make money.
I think he's good enough to compete in any money fight now, though. He's good enough. He might not win them all, but he's good enough to put a good account of himself.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's good fights for him. Jack Catterall's the same. That was there. Look, watch that. That's when he punched him when he's getting knocked down.
Mrs. judging you for buying cheap tomato sauce.
It was the only one they had. So look, straight there, bam,
nice.
and bam,
Oh,
and bam, bam.
Cold.
Yeah, so
Cold.
a bit harsh. Didn't really need
Cold.
that. So he drops Tyrone McKenna, and as he's sort of leaning back, punched fuck out of him. The ref didn't even give that as a knockdown,
Because of what he did.
So he lost the point. He gave McKenna a good minute or two to recover.
And then
So he's a bit over eager, Jack Catterall, but no, he's a good fighter, and I like Tyrone McKenna. He's massive at the weight.
He's enormous, isn't he?
He's huge. The next one question came in from Tom. Tom Humber, who works on my website, said, "Where does Tyrone McKenna go from here?" I just think tough fights, man. You've seen how tough that John O'Carroll fight was last night and Declan Geraghty. I mean, they're the kind of fights you'll be in. These tough Irish men, they just fight each other and they don't give a fuck. They just want to just fight, don't they? So
they will get punched in the face.
Yeah, they enjoy it. But he looks like he should be in Peaky Blinders, Tyrone McKenna. No, I think he's a good fighter, and he's a tough fight for anyone.
Yeah, it'd be good for O'Hara Davis to.
Well, maybe O'Hara fight Tyrone and then fight Jack Catterall. Maybe it's not a bad shout. But no, there's some good fights.
Be interesting, man.
There is. Ireland's going mad at the minute. One of the questions that came in was regarding, this is a pretty Ireland-heavy card last night in Belfast. Mick Conlon headlining, obviously. So, one of the questions is big-time boxing in Ireland viable? This is from Terry from the Seven Wolves. If it was viable, wouldn't we have seen a Katie Taylor homecoming fight by now from Matchroom? But yet it seems to work for these MTK guys on Warren. I guess it comes down to having the right fighters, doesn't it? Why has Hearn not brought Katie Taylor a homecoming in Ireland? Why is she defending her title at York Hall?
Will she fill a stadium?
Don't
She's
know.
liked, but is she loved?
Yeah, it's true.
Is she, for lack of a better word, a novelty? Because it's a female boxing, not disrespect to females boxing, but it's like, oh cool, there's a female boxer around now, that's good. But you wouldn't pay out your money, go all the way out your way to watch that as a headline fight. So they need something else to back it up.
Maybe. So Matchroom would
but there's
need
a lot
a stable.
of boxing in Ireland. There's a lot of Irish boxers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Irish boxers in England.
Mm-hmm.
Do they all come to England? There's none left over there. I mean, I don't know, but they will still have family and friends over there. So is it? It's got to be possible.
Yeah,
it's got to be possible.
Definitely.
But maybe it's
hometown.
Yes, it's possible. But there's so much more money here. What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Could be. I mean, Eddie puts on enough shows here. He's got Belfast himself now with Ryan Burnett. He's got Newcastle with Ritson. Probably doesn't need that side of it with Katie. And yeah, will she move the needle? That's the question. Will she do enough tickets to warrant going to a big
on her own as a headline act, if you like?
Time will tell, I guess, if he bothers going there. Couple more questions came in. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, so this is a very good question. This is from Tom as well. Is 3 weeks' notice enough time to give Usyk and Gassiev the right amount of promotion, which is the final for the Cruiserweight World Boxing Super Series? And on the same subject, the question came in from Terry: is the World Boxing Super Series a shambles now? It was, we were raving about it. Has it gone from being the best thing to an absolute shambles?
Well, they've tried so desperately to keep it together and keep it on time, keep it on schedule, that they've kind of ruined the stage. Like most of these fighters, what we're going to do is we're going to do a prize fighter for big fighters. They're all going to have the right amount of time, big time prize fighter, if you like. And now all of a sudden they've gone, actually, we need to get this one done and out of the way.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that in 3 weeks, mate. You be ready?
3 weeks.
It sounds unfair. Did they know? They must have known something.
Yeah.
They must have known.
The venue was the issue. It's in Russia.
Oh.
And Usyk is Ukrainian. He's the champion. Well, the main. I say the champion. They're both champions, aren't they? That's why it's for all 4 belts. But I believe he's the A side in this fight, and he's the favourite for the tournament. So he wouldn't have wanted to box in Russia, but eventually it's got done and he's boxing over there on 3 weeks' notice. Bit strange. Will it sell out? You'd imagine it'll do well, but you've got the World Cup there at the moment, and then they're going to fucking run the final of the World Boxing Super Series.
Yeah, that's
and we still don't have a date.
Do you think boxing fans will lose boxing fans over World Cup though?
No.
It's the casual fans.
How much money has everyone got?
It's the casual fans.
That's a good question.
If you're going to the World Cup
it's the
final,
fans, yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to the World Cup final,
which is
it's on the 15th. It's 6 days before the World Boxing Super Series final. Mate, not everyone can afford to do World Cup games and then just
a week later
go. Yeah, so that might be an issue. Who knows?
What's the minimum Russian wage?
I mean, we're not that kind of podcast, Rich. I definitely don't know. Do you know what I mean? But they still haven't announced the Groves Callum Smith.
Yeah.
They haven't announced the venue, the date.
What's the status on his injuries?
He's okay. He's back training.
He's back, cool.
They've confirmed it's definitely them 2 fighting. They're not going to be a replacement. which was a rumour at one point. But
Chris Eubank going back into it. That's what
yeah,
was
he's
rumour.
gonna be on the undercard as the standby if anyone drops out in fight week. That's what it is. But they've always done that. There's talk of it being John Ryder, Eubank, John Ryder. That's talk, but
John Ryder.
That's nice.
we'll see.
Good
I
fight.
like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
but we'll
Who's
see.
your money on?
I like. Eubank's got great momentum at the minute. He actually slowed down in the last few months, I think, with his momentum. He had
Well,
massive,
after the Groves loss,
at one point everyone was raving about him, and it was all going off. And Eubank, this, you'd see him on social media, be sparring here, be Snapchatting there, be doing all that, and all of a
do you
sudden,
think the Groves defeat humbled him a bit?
I think it's just quietened him down. But
Yeah.
he'll come back strong. If he beats Ryder and beats Ryder well, he'll
No.
be straight back on it.
It's fair play, innit?
It's fair play. You go, alright, I've been beaten now. I can't go mad for myself.
Well, obviously,
Not too much.
Billy Joe beat him, and yeah, did he slow down? I suppose he went a bit quiet.
But he
after
weren't
Billy
as
Joe.
loud.
He weren't
then
as
and
loud
brash,
in
like,
that.
in
But
when he won his world title and all that, he was an absolute baller, wasn't he? And then
in the nightclub with his IBO title.
Yeah.
It was that good. George Groves won that title and gave it back. He wouldn't pay the sanction fees. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
George Groves won this world title that Eubank was pinning everything to, and he went, nah, I don't want that, mate. You can keep it.
Keep it.
So I think that's vacant now. That must be vacant.
How much is the sanctioning fee?
Yeah, I wonder what the sanctioning fee for an IBO world title is. 7 grand? 10 grand?
Who wants to fight me for the IBO world title?
Yeah, it's vacant. Go for it. Just make a phone call. See if they'll let you. You never know. Golovkin's got the middleweight
I'm not
one.
fighting Golovkin for an
No,
IBO
but-
world title.
this is a super middle. Don't worry about it. You could get. That's what you're at. Is it a shambles? It could be done better. They've announced the season 2. They've announced Josh Taylor's going to be in season 2 at Super Light, which is exceptional. I think very, very good for him, and very, very good for Cyclone, because Cyclone he's been their standalone star, so they're investing a lot of money into him. Now you'd imagine they'll get their own fighters on his undercard on the World Boxing Super Series without having to swallow the production costs, without having to swallow any of that. So it would probably be really good for Cyclone, because he's very much on the verge of world titles. You know what I mean? So I think they could do things better. I think they could have worked this Groves Eubank thing better. They're hoping to give an announcement in the next week or two, apparently, on the venue, but I'm hearing it's going to be around September time. I hope it don't clash with you lot.
I know where you look, we lies.
It won't clash with you lot. It won't, because that's
you know what you realize.
Listen, I know what the people want to see. I know who they want to see, so I'm not worried.
you know, Matchroom are going the same night as you lot now in Birmingham.
I'm not scared.
Amir Khan.
I'm not scared.
No.
I'm not scared at all. My supporters are loyal, strong. They back me
Who's
up.
Amir
They'll
Khan
always be
fighting?
there, and my sponsor always there.
Vargas.
So
Samuel Vargas.
hashtag
Oh.
Richie Gray official.
Hashtag Richie
At Richie Gray
everything.
official on the Instagram.
We'll be
They
side by
will all
side,
still
Richie.
come
Man.
out
We'll
and
be
say,
side by
mate,
side
you're
fighting.
cool, because they're the bollocks. All of
I'm
them.
only going to be at your fight because Jamani's fighting. That's
Fucking.
I'm fighting as well.
Yeah, and Chavez is fighting.
I'm fighting
You're
as
just
well.
a little added bonus.
I'll take that.
From
whatever.
the sides.
Rich, you're a podcaster that boxes. You're not a boxer that podcasts.
Yeah,
You're a media guy that does triathlons and boxing on the side.
one or two things from last night as well. Mick Condon obviously won. He wants to be a freeweight world champion. He says that's his dream. So he's going to be in good fights.
Why 3? Why not 4?
Why not 7? You know, why?
That's the thing nowadays.
Freeweight
Being
is
a world champion ain't enough now, is it? It's not though, is
Would
it?
you take it?
Listen, it's not though, is it? All these fighters going, oh, I want to win multiple weight champions.
Yeah.
At one point, it was great to be a world champion. Now it's great to be a multiple weight champion. Oh, you're just a world champion. Ah, might as well just be Southern Area champion.
What about just being British champion? Ain't that just sufficient?
I think it's all pretty good.
No, being
But
a
that's what
champion
these fighters
period
are like
is
now. That's
good.
what seems to be trending right now. Is all these champions want to be multiple weight world champions,
Yeah.
not just world champions.
What's the dream for you, Chavez? As you look at your career, and you say earlier that you think Congo can go all the way.
Yeah.
So realistically, you know boys that you believe can go that distance.
Yeah.
What would you deem as a success as you look at your career?
As a success, winning the title and going forward from
What,
there.
challenge belt?
Nah, I want a British title,
Yeah.
and then possibly move up for a European, and then go for a world. So at stages, I want stages. in my
Yeah,
career.
because it's
So
very,
obviously
it's,
you've got
it's
to work
very
towards
different. Yeah, it's very. Everyone is completely different. What is a success to them, isn't it? Everyone has their own levels, their own ceilings. So you just want to be in tough fights, and
I want to be in memorable fights.
He wants to
I
break
want to be
people's
in
bones.
memorable fights. I want people to look back and say,
Fuck that guy.
He'd fight anyone. Good fight. Good. It doesn't matter if you win or lose them. Look at Gatti. He lost loads of fights. Neville was never going to compete with the stars of the divisions, but he'd always be in good fights.
Yeah.
That for me.
He'd be in that good. Yeah.
That's
He's
good
in that
enough.
light.
That's
He's
for
in
me.
that
That's
light.
for me. Listen, that's for me. Julio wants to win. Do you care about the southern area in the English, or are you not?
I like the southern area.
Like the southern area, and then you move to the English.
Yeah.
Because it helps you get to the British.
Elevate. You got to elevate. So it's just about elevating myself. You know, I believe I've got the ability to do it. So why not? And what am I boxing for?
What do you think your strengths are? Obviously, I suppose. What do you think your strengths are in yourself?
My footwork, my range, my athleticism. Really, those are my things. Fitness.
Yeah, that's fair. He's slick. I spy him all the time. He's
Yeah.
slick. He's fast. He's awkward. He's 19.5 feet tall, I think. He's got 200 metre long reach. You know, and he pretty make like super welter as well.
Richie's
Richie can be your spokesman.
And Richie is an absolute animal. He walks you down. Doesn't
What
leave
is
you
this?
alone
Just
for
a
1
love
sec.
fest, boys. Come on, what's
He
happening
walks
here?
you down, and I'm being serious. He walks you down and doesn't leave you alone.
Yeah, he's that.
He makes you work, man. He makes me work. So
let's do it before we finish up on the questions. Let's talk about your career. So, what's your amateur days like? You boxed at quite a few people.
I boxed at quite a few clubs. To be honest with you, I started for
He had all
Haringey.
the fights. He had all the
All the
fights.
fights.
I started at Haringey. Left, went to Dell Youth.
Oh yeah, he's at Dell.
I was at Dell
Who
Youth.
was there when you were there?
We had Groves was there. The girl was there. Who else did we have? We had Yaya there. We had Zach Shelley was there as well. We had Mo Garib was there as well. Lukeman was there. If you know Lukeman Patel.
Why do I know Lukeman Patel?
You do know him. Indian fella.
Oh, Prince Patel.
Yeah,
Prince
he
Patel,
was there.
Yeah.
He got thrown out like 6 months after. He was there, so it was a good little club
Prince
when
Patel.
I was there. Had quite a few bouts there. I went over to Finchley because it was close to my house. Obviously, Anthony Josh was there, and obviously they used to be my old rivals. I boxed.
Did you used to spar Anthony Joshua?
Wish I did. No, that's terrible. No, I wouldn't want to spar Anthony Joshua. He's an animal, you know, complete animal. But yeah, so obviously you got some boys over there, you know. Then I was at
One
Repton
thing you
'cause they
won't
left-
see on this podcast as well, which we can see, look at the veins on the boy. In the gym, he always looks more veins than anything. He's so lean.
I was trying to get him to go down to
Honestly, honestly, in the gym, you never see him out of shape. He comes in, he's like, oh, I'm a bit overweight. I'm 2 kilos overweight.
What do you do? Are you at a gym when you're not in a boxing gym? Are you at a gym or you just?
I just train myself, man.
Yeah.
I train myself. I don't really go to gyms, to be honest with you. That doesn't determine if you're going to be fit or not. People like this. It's a
He doesn't
facade.
skip vein day, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah. I've got to look at But yeah,
You don't do any triathlons. What's wrong with you?
That's weak, man.
I'm going to start joining in now. You're making me
Stop
jealous.
beating him. So imagine how he feels when you fucking do first triathlon and beat him in time.
Do a marathon.
Yeah.
Bye, Rich.
So when you turn pro, how long was you? How many amateur bouts do you have?
About 120.
So it's a long career. Not that. I mean,
I've
what's
been
the average in this country? Would you say? Because you get some polar opposites. Like obviously Anthony Yardley shoved down our throat. He only had 12 amateurs, and then you get guys who's it? Paulie Upton had 150, and so you get polar opposites.
I had 20 odd, he had 120 odd.
Mad, isn't it?
At Finchley was probably where I had most of my bouts because like every other week you're out. Like you're out like 3 times a week, so you don't even get a break. Like straight after school, sometimes you're boxing. What? After a training
It's a
session,
good
you're
thing,
oh,
though.
you're
To be honest, it's one of the things in my amateur career. I wish I had more of them.
But I tell you,
more of them.
in that sense, yeah, I get what you mean. But sometimes boxing too much, you sort of lose the hunger for it. Sometimes,
Yeah.
so you take unnecessary losses. Sometimes you get in the ring, you're like, I'm not really on it today. I boxed last week, or I'm boxing tomorrow,
Yeah.
and that's when you're sort of in the mood. It's like you got to be gagging for a little bit. Like, okay, I ain't boxed for maybe a month now, and I'm boxing again. So you're gonna go back to the gym with that same sort of mindset. I'm gonna win. Bam. When you're boxing like 3 times, it's like, okay, boxing again tomorrow.
So too much of a good thing.
Too much of it becomes less special.
Yeah. And when you win, it's like, oh, I won. Yeah, I won yesterday as well, and I lost this one. It's
So when do you turn pro? Why do you turn pro? What? Because again, you go to amateur side, and some guys they can be killers at amateur, and then it doesn't really translate. So why do you turn over and think, you know what, this is pro is for me?
my style, really. I'm not one of them people that feel like 8 punch combinations. I'm pretty much the way I move is sort of like a pro. So it's like I've always been told you've got a pro style. Pros will suit you better, and obviously that's my dream, to be a professional boxer and win multiple
It's
titles.
reality now, mate.
It's reality,
It's not
baby.
your dream anymore.
It's reality,
It's
baby.
reality.
Nah, so yeah, I've been in with some good boys, Johnny Quell, Lewis Richardson, Ben Fell. Been to tournaments in Spain, Sweden.
Did you go on a box cup?
Yeah.
How'd you get on?
I won one of the box cups. I've been in it like 3
Told
times.
you, everyone's won a box cup. Well, I have a thing at the minute where I feel like a lot of these people are saying that boxers have won box cup. Oh, he's great, he won a box cup. And they're making it sound like it's as good as winning an ABA title.
No, but the thing is,
I feel like that's what's happening. I don't get it.
There's box cups everywhere now.
There's box cups everywhere, and in some box cups, if 10 people of the same weight enter, there'll be 2 or 3 champions at the same weight. I don't get why these people are hyping up people that win box cups, because anyone can win a box cup.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I'm not downing that you won it.
I won a box cup in another country though. So
yeah, I'm not downing that you won it. I'm just talking in general.
The Haringey, for example.
They're making it sound now. They're making it sound that boxers that have won a box cup are as good as boxers that won the ABAs, when that is not the case. To win the ABAs, you've got to be consistently good over maybe 10 fights.
Yeah.
In a box cup, you've got 2 days to be good. In which now the rules, you can only box once in 12 hours or something.
Yeah, once in 12 hours.
So you only have to box twice now, and you're a box cup champion.
But that's a true point. But at the same time,
so Harry was good winning a 2-fight competition as a 10-fight competition.
The reason why I used to like the box cup is because obviously you get to meet the opposition. So sometimes, like if you went to box,
no, I like the box cups. I think they're brilliant for boxing. And even when you could box more than once on the same day, 2-3 times a day, excellent, brilliant. What I don't understand is how media companies are now hyping boxers up to say he won a box cup.
They have to, though, don't they?
No, I get that. But some of them, the ABA title seems to be a second fault. Hey, he was a 2-time box cup champion. Oh, and he won an ABA title. Whoa, why didn't you open with that?
Yeah.
Why didn't you open... Oh, he boxed for England as well. Why didn't you open with that?
Yeah.
No, why are you opening with him?
England,
why are you opening with him winning a box cup? Everyone's won a box cup. Like, box cup's not as good as an ABA
What box
title.
cup did you win?
I won one out in Denmark.
Denmark.
A while back though, ages ago.
They weren't massive back in the day, and all of a sudden they exploded, didn't they?
Yeah.
And there's lots of them. I think they're great. They're great coming to boxing, but I just feel like they get too much appreciation in comparison to national titles, which are a big thing.
So 2-0 now. What fights you got scheduled? We're just talking. Box record got you down as scheduled for 2.
They was making stupid little mistakes.
What are you booked in for?
I booked it. Well, the one I had a recent one that I was meant to obviously fight, but obviously I had an injury to the hand, so I had to pull out of that one. And I was got me matched up for the same bill as Richie, so that's the 15th of September.
That's your next one. 15th.
Yeah, like, he ain't got real bad hands. It's just like a precaution when you do it. What's the point in taking big risks at this? Yeah. I've done it myself. I've had injuries.
How old are you?
Anyway.
25.
25. So a good age now to kick on. What's the next 12 months look like for you? You just want to, obviously, you have to play the game. Like, not everyone can go, look, I'm ready for my prospects now at 3-0, 4-0. You have to play the game.
You've got to play the game. Obviously, for now, it's just building your profile, sponsorships is what I'm trying to get. So, guys, if you can hear me.
Listen, companies, back Hulio up. He's done loads in the amateurs. All the skill in the world. Check him out. Follow his Twitter, his Instagram,
Your
Snapchat.
Twitter game ain't good enough.
I know. I'm not really on Twitter like that. But
this is the thing. The truth, like, Instagram's good. The reason I tell all boxers, I've been telling them for a long time, the reason Twitter is better for boxers, I've been telling you, Rich, it's where you get your interaction with boxing fans who you don't know.
Started doing it.
So Instagram, guys will watch you train, etc. So that's great, but they don't know your personality. Where boxing on Twitter, you follow the hashtags, you trend, you talk about what's happening in boxing, and you can see people who follow boxing will watch you and learn about you. Like Ramez is a perfect.
Yeah, I know.
He's very good at it. He's intelligent, but he has his opinions, and people get to know a little bit about you. So I think social media is vital for young pros nowadays.
Definitely, you know. But my Twitter game is weak. Though I need to get it up.
Yeah, get it up, man. It'll happen. Like, get it up. We'll get it shared. But companies do need to get on board because it's tax deductible. If they can help young boxers achieve their dreams and stuff, but listen, boxers can't do it without people helping them, man.
Indeed.
Because if you love boxing, if all your mates, let's say a group of 10 of you, you want to chip in £20 each a month. Give a boxer £200. It's £20. Nothing. If you're working full time, £20 a month ain't a lot to help support someone, one of your friends, which can build them into something. Oh yeah, I'll come to it when you get big fights. They won't get to that point if you don't back them up now. £20 each, 10 of your mates, £200. That can change a boxer's life. He can now have a day off work, 2 days off work to go train and not be working.
Yeah.
Indeed, man.
Good points, man. So at this minute, what's your situation? Do you have anyone helping you out, or is it?
Not at this moment. It's just me, man.
Fucking.
So I'm a dad as well, so it's just like everything's on me, man. Yeah, I've got a 4-year-old boy, man.
That's fucking.
So it's, you know, it's life, innit? You just got to get on with it. Obviously, I ain't gonna, you know, quit or have no hard feelings about it. I'm gonna just get on with it.
You'll be able to look back in years and go, shit, that was hard times, man.
The thing is, a lot of people, like what Richie was saying, they don't help out, but like people don't see the journey that you go through and the madness you go through to like be successful. They just see the bit where you're at the top. Oh, like, look at him, he was there all along. I was like, I was never there all along, man. If you knew the struggle, if you knew what I was going through before I got here, like, you know, like Larry Akindeo, like he's a good example. I know he was going through his struggles and stuff. Now look where he's at now. But no one sees the bit before that. You know, when you putting your posts up like, oh, guys, I'm fighting. Tickets are £40. Come support. That's hard.
It's not easy to
It's hard.
Ticket,
I mean, you can have group chats. People just don't respond.
Yeah.
They don't respond, or they wait till the last minute. But you know, with a sponsor, all that can
so
change.
are you working?
Yeah, I work self-employed.
Yeah.
I do TV sets like for X Factor and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Big Brother, yeah.
My cousin does
You
that.
can sing as well. He said he
I
was going to
don't.
sing
I
today.
don't.
Sing for us.
Nah.
We know you can sing.
I can't.
Yeah, just tell man sing.
Sing, bud, sing.
Sing now.
So you do the sets and all that stuff, yeah?
Man, do like we do screens or LED wall.
Oh yeah.
So the big walls and stuff for the X Factor.
If you could sell tickets the way you're selling your job right now, bro, you'd sell hundreds.
Fuck, I know, innit?
We do big screens, small screens,
Hey, them guys,
LED lights,
you know what it is?
anything you want.
You know what it is? People don't want to separate their money, innit? It's one of them ones like,
Yeah.
even like working for these companies, trying to get them to come to your fights is hard work.
Yeah.
And they've got money that they can afford to, even their companies can afford to sponsor, but it's one of them ones people don't want to
Marketing,
separate.
you want to get help. You want these companies fucking pushing you and helping you. You want to get to that stage.
Definitely,
where,
man.
Yeah, it's fucking difficult. The amount of boys that come on here that are in such different.
Well, I'm gonna
boats.
start calling people out.
But let's go. We're gonna have you both call out 2 names right now.
Julio Chavez.
Don't be a pussy. Ramez wouldn't do it. Ramez called out Joe Joyce. So two
Joe
guys.
Joyce, and I can't call out Julio.
No, you can't call out Julio.
Alright,
But you two are big men, right? Ramez is too nice. 2 names. Let me give you a name. Who I want you to fight. I want you to fight Nick Gemman.
I'd fight Taylor Jones.
Would you fight Taylor Jones?
Yeah.
Southern area middleweight champion.
Yeah.
You'd fight him at middle. Is that where you see you going for titles? Middle, or do you think light middle?
I could do both, really.
Yeah.
But I'd probably go for middle.
Middles. So you're middle as well.
I'd fight Nick, but let me tell you about this.
Go on.
Why? Will he sell his own tickets? Or am I going to have to pay you to come here and me pay you?
Yeah.
I want to fight someone who's going to sell their own tickets.
So you can.
A contender that can sell their own tickets. I don't want to pay someone to come and have a 50-50 with me. Sell your own tickets. If you can sell your own tickets, come and fight me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone. Otherwise, what do I get out of it? I don't want to pay you. I might as well pay someone else. I'm going to beat you up just like I'm going to beat up a journeyman. So sell your own tickets and we'll fight. If I win or lose, we'll do it again in your hometown. If it's a close fight, we'll do it where I live. We'll do it again where you live.
Yeah.
I think that's what all boxers should do. I put it on Twitter the other day. Why can't they do a small hall super series? Get a shit trophy, a shitty trophy.
Don't know that £4.
Listen, get a shit trophy. Get 10 boxers, 8 boxers, 6 boxers. Say, all right, yeah, fuck it. Sell tickets. I don't know, £100. It gets you entry to the tournament, and then you can do like there's 3 fights this night. The winner of these 2 fights, the winner of them 2 in the next show. And then for £100, it's usually £40 a ticket. You've paid £100, so technically you paid £20 more. You made a bit more money. You're not losing money. And then they get like a 2-show deal. They get to see you fight him. They're going to see who you're going to fight next, and it all locks in. I think it's a great idea.
It's big.
And then all these fighters can't just fight journeyman forever. Get seriously good records against absolutely fucking nobody. Fight some real fighters. That's what we want.
Yeah. There's a few of them. 15.
You sound emotional, Richie, bro. What's
going
on?
I want to fight real fighters. Before my last fight, we asked about eight other contenders for opponents.
Who did you ask?
Everyone was saying no.
Who did you ask?
Listen, I asked Al. I don't know. I'm not doing that. Don't play your games.
All right, fair enough. I know you want real fights.
I want real fights. You call names out, and I'll be like, yep, I'll fight him.
Yeah.
Except him. I won't fight him.
Nah.
Him. No, not him. Get rid of him.
Boys need
People listen to the podcast. Send us ideas in. Who should we fight next?
Middleweights and domestic
middleweights. Light middleweights. I'll even fight the right super middleweight.
Fucking hell.
I really would. Listen, there's super middleweights out there I know I beat. There's super middleweights I would knock
out. Tell us names.
Listen, there's enough listeners on here to send names in. They've seen me box. They've watched me.
Yeah.
Who do you think would be a good fight? Why don't you send names in?
I want to see you fight Nick, and I completely understand what you're saying.
That's the only thing with Nick. It's the only thing is
he
that
doesn't
Nick
always.
would want pain.
He goes on the road and wants
Nick
pain.
would want pain. What do I achieve out of that?
Yeah. No, I'll try and have a think of who else I want to see you box, but I like the attitude that just give me fights, man. When you look
Just
at a guy and go,
because I
he's
can
14-0, but he's the best guy he fought was like 6-4 or something. You know, it's just
because the problem
He's a
is
good fighter,
when you sell tickets. when you sell tickets, they go, all right,
He's
yeah,
a
we
good
can
fighter.
bring
I've
him on
seen him box
nicely.
once.
Gemman. Yeah,
Gemman is a good boxer.
He
He's a good boxer. He's got he's boxed.
I think it's a good test for you. That's why I want to see it.
With
He's
me in
tough,
it
man.
would be a great fight. It would be a great fight. I think he's got more experience. I think I've got more enthusiasm. I'm bigger. I think I'm stronger. I think I'm going to hit harder. But Nick's probably smarter. He's probably a better boxer.
And he's a lot more experienced.
He's a lot more experienced. So I'm on the way up. Perhaps he's on the way towards the end of his career. But why am I going to pay him? Why am I going to pay?
What are you trying to say, Richie?
Why am I
going to
going
way down? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he is. He's at the end of the career. He's done a lot already. He's done about 300 fights now. But he had all these amateurs. But why should I pay him when there's other boxers out there that are 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 6-1, 6-2 that could sell their own tickets, and then I can not pay them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's
and it's not for money. I don't do it for money, but it comes a point where you can say, well, I can pay him to fight me, or I could just not pay him, who's at the same stage of his career of me, and then it's sink or swim.
Yeah,
definitely
for that.
Who did Tay win the title off, or box for the title?
He boxed Matt Legg for the title.
Why don't I fight Matt Legg?
He's fought for it twice.
Why don't I fight Matt Legg?
Would you go down to Bournemouth?
Who's Tay boxing next?
Darren Cordona.
I could fight someone like that.
Darren Cordona.
Yeah, Darren Cordona. You'd fight Darren Cordona. You'd fight Matt Legg. I like it. There's 3 names put out.
I've got a phone. I've got
They
a manager.
Matt Legg's a good fight. Would you go down to Bournemouth to fight
I'd go
him?
down Bournemouth.
I'd
take 150 people down Bournemouth with me.
You let you want to go now.
That's a great fight.
Bro.
I've got his number.
Do you know to Bournemouth?
That's why I like Matt Legg. Should we text him and see if you're going to fight him?
He might be. It's not about not liking him, is it?
No, of course it
All
Guys,
nice lads,
Richie's
I like
just
all
taking
of
his
them,
top back off and now he's sweating.
Yeah.
I've been sweating the whole time. I'm just.
You want
I'm
fights?
2 years. I'm two and a half years into my career. I don't want another 2 years of boxing journeyman. I don't care if I have another 2 years, I have another 6 fights, and I only win 3. I don't care. At least if that's the end of my career, I can say, well, at least I boxed some real fucking people. Because you never know when your career's going to end. You might get to 18 fights, all of a sudden, boom, broken foot. This happens, bills build up, and you can never box again. What did you actually achieve? Yeah, you can tell your family you did this, you did that, but really, you didn't box no one, mate. You did absolutely fuck all.
Yep,
true.
And I think
100%.
for your own self, what's the point? I find it. I'm just bored. This so no one's throwing a C-bomb at yet. This cunt ain't come to even win. This cunt's not even come to throw a fucking punch.
Yeah.
Jesus
Do you want a
Christ.
Yeah, he does look like he needs a hug right now.
No, I need a real opponent.
He's getting emotional. I'll take you in the garden after this.
What, so you can tap out of a boxing
again.
match?
So you can bite me
Listen,
again.
if anyone out there wants to come and tap out of a boxing match against Richie Gray, bring Alec Wilkie.
Didn't happen.
Let's do this.
Didn't happen. There's 1 or 2 questions I missed, so we'll touch on them at the end. But yeah, it's been a good. I like getting 2 boys from the same gym on because you can abuse each other.
Listen, we do a lot. we have some good laughs in the gym. We have some good rounds together. You know, obviously, I'm a few fights in front of Hulio, so we're at different stages of our career now, and we both box very different as well. So when we do spar, yeah, we've got something to learn off of each other.
Do you think when you're like he had his you're 6-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it was your 7th fight was your step up fight essentially. Do you think around the same time you'll be looking to do the same?
Yeah, definitely following the footsteps. Simple.
So everyone decides to make that step at different stages.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Some people need 15 fights.
Yeah.
Like with Matt McCarthy, remember me and Matt McCarthy had a little bit of a bitching session for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt did make a fair point. Matt did make a fair point in saying to me, I think it was actually his brother that said it. He said, "Rich, the difference is Matt McCarthy turned pro at 18 years old.
Yeah.
So it's unfair for Matt to want to fight men at the age of 30s and 33s and 29s at the age of 18. In comparison to me, I'm 28.
Yeah.
So equally, to step up at different stages of your career depends on your age.
Yeah.
When I say following footsteps, I mean like obviously because Richie's ahead of me in fights and whatnot and experience as a pro. Like you sort of see when you can do things.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at that and saying, okay, you could do that then, that now. So
maybe you wouldn't box a cheeky Grant in your 7th fight.
Maybe I wouldn't.
Maybe I shouldn't have.
Maybe I wouldn't. But it depends. I might have it earlier. It depends how I feel. It's all about you. Like you got to make that decision for yourself. So obviously, watching him do it, I think okay, he's going for a challenge, but he's going to go for that. Okay, this is the time that you should really do that, or you should really have an 8 round or a 6, whatever. You see it then. The coach can say, oh, you could be ready for this, but really you might not be. So
yeah. At the end of the day, we can say who we want to box. That's the thing. What I said to Hulio earlier. You can call out whoever you want. The fact is, and this is the truth in boxing,
you've got to be realistic.
You can say, I'm going to fight Joe Malander for the European. Joe, let's fucking have it. You can say that, and then make it sound like you mean it all you want. But then when Joe rings up and go, all right, let's fucking have it. You say, Al, don't take that fight.
Yeah.
But fighters do that.
Yeah.
You can do that. So then there's a row, there's social media banter and fucking kicks off, and all you got to do is turn around and say, no, I don't take that fight.
Yeah.
Fighters do that all the time just to get a name for themselves.
Right, we've missed loads and more have been coming in, so I'm going to do the last 2 questions, then we're going to finish up.
How long have we been?
I don't know, you know, it's all together. It's been a while. That's about the third. It's probably an hour and 20, an hour and a half. So, listen, last couple of questions. One from the UK Boxing Fan 6. Thank you very much. He sent in 3 questions, but we're just going to go with one of them. With Frampton, Billy Joe Saunders, and Fury being all MTK guys, are we right in thinking they have a massive input on Frank Warren's BT setup? Why would Box Nation exclusively give MTK 12 dates when Goodwin and Steffi Ball, for example, are the market leaders in the small hall scene and have a proven track record? That's a phenomenal question.
So they're all over again.
Yeah. When you get these long questions, you have to reread it.
Yeah, it's a great question. So, the market leaders in small hall in this country at this moment are Goodwin and Steffi Ball. They've been doing it for a few years, and they're the best ones at this moment in time, in most people's opinions.
Yeah.
MTK are fairly new at putting on their own shows. You know, we've touched on Lee and MTK London, good people, etc., etc., but they're fairly new. They're learning and getting better as they go.
Why would they give them their spots on Box Nation?
So Box Nation have given...
Because Frank Warren doesn't care about the little fish.
Okay, Frank Warren, all 12... or they've given exclusive, so there's going to be no more Frank Warren fights on there when this contract starts. MTK are going to have 12 shows on Box Nation per year.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's one a month, right?
So it's not really a lot.
But Frank Warren, who set up Box Nation, is going to be solely on BT Sport. So what you have to look at, Frampton, Billy Joe Saunders and Fury are never ever going to box on Box Nation, right? They're only going to box on BT Sport. So is it a sign that a boxing only channel is a failure?
Well, you're saying they're selling the product.
But yeah, that's what they're doing. They're giving it to MTK. They're saying, here, MTK,
right,
this is yours.
Basically, this product doesn't work for me anymore. Do you want it?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But there's also a lot of other stuff behind it. There's a lot of rumours and talk that MTK have been funding Frank Warren for a long time. Funding shows. I mean, all you have to do is look at last night's. If you look at last night's show, for example, in Belfast, very, very top heavy on MTK fighters, and it's happened a few times this year. That's on their BT platform.
Listen, I'm not mad about this. I think that Frank Warren wants to focus, because I know a lot of boys that have signed a Frank and they don't get enough fights, or they've been left as a floater on a show and they haven't got a box, they've sold tickets, and they're getting angry about it and they moan at Frank or they moan at whoever they're dealing with, blah blah. I think this gives Frank the opportunity to say, alright, okay, you're all moaning, I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got 50 fighters, I don't know what he's got. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. 40 of you lot, go box an MTK, do whatever you want.
We don't know for a fact he's going to let him box on
I'm just
yeah,
this might be the thing.
Guessing it, yeah.
Let's say he's going to say, right, I've got my 10 favourites. These are I'm going to look after. I'm going to fill all the undercard with MTK, put whatever you want, I don't care. But I will give you a headline for every one of your shows. You can use Box Nation however you want. Put your small halls on there, put whatever you want on there, whatever you want. My BT show, I'm putting Billy Joe Saunders on. You give me 12 undercard fights.
Yeah.
Don't care who you put on, give me 12 fights. It takes responsibility off Frank Warren to not have to do it.
That's
you should be a promoter, man.
I think he's read between the lines and got it right. That's what it feels like, because Vijender Singh is a Frank Warren fighter. He's headlining an MTK show on the 13th of July that you're commentating on.
Yeah.
I'll be there. You gonna be there?
I'll be there.
Everyone's gonna be there, but he's a Frank Warren fighter. There's a press conference Monday for that fight tomorrow. I hope someone turns up to that. We'll see. But
he wants some beef, baby.
It's he's a Frank Warren fighter headlining an MTK show, so you're right. It's going to work both ways. It's a sign that they're very, very, very closely linked.
Listen, I wouldn't say a boxing only channel's failed. I had this conversation with someone the other day, a little while ago. They were saying it's not okay to charge people 15 quid for this shit pay-per-view, whatever show it was, I don't know. And I said, yeah, but, and they were talking about being boxing fans, and they were like, but I've got Box Nation. I was like, you're happy to spend £20 a month on Box Nation, but you're not happy to spend £15 3 times a year. That don't make no sense.
That's a different argument. Pay-per-view, mate. That's a fucking mad
Box
argument.
Nation's still going to have to be paid for. That's what I'm saying. So you're going to be paying.
I mean,
pay-per-view for small hall shows equally. Is that going to affect the boys' sales?
Yeah, it's so different.
If I'm on an MTK show and everyone finds out it's on Box Nation.
Well, you've had the same argument with. I've had the same argument with streaming. putting your product live on IFL.
I don't advertise that.
No, you don't, but everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Although it's going to change. What I'm saying is, again, it's different. If people know they can watch you fight for free, are they going to come out and spend 80, 100 quid in a night? Your ticket, your travel, your drink, your booze, your food. You know what I mean? And then you've done a one-off. This is the problem.
That's where you have to sell it right.
And do the streamer, do the promoter go, here's an extra 200 quid because you're going to lose tickets? No, of course they don't. Still your job to sell your fucking tickets, isn't it? There's a lot of problems with it. There's a lot of issues, but that's for a longer pod, mate. That's
I want
for
to raise
another
that
day.
before we get any further. You and Lee and all
We are doing
Snake
one
and
more
me.
question.
You and Lee and Snake and me
That was
a
funny.
while ago.
That
No,
was
it wasn't
funny.
fucking funny.
That was brilliant.
You fucked me up because I felt like shit. Leighton's been good to me,
What's the
right?
crew?
This needs
Come
to
here,
be-
come here.
this
Come
needs-
on.
this needs to be addressed.
Bring it in.
Because Leighton has been good to me. He's looked after me. He's done loads for me. He really has.
He's a good man. I like
And
him a lot.
the dates that were suited for me, one was a Goodwin one. And so Lee and messaged Craig and Sam and told them to start snaking me and trolling
We
in the
said we're
group.
going to ruin this cunt.
And they were
That's what he
like,
said.
yeah. So I get a message from Sam and Craig saying, Rich, is it true you're going on a Goodwin show? I'm like, yeah, why? And they're like, nah, you're out of order, mate.
Poor Lee.
Lee's done loads for you. And I was like, nah, do you think? And then Lee messaged me, Rich, you're out of order, mate. I don't know.
Didn't he say, don't worry about the commentary, I'll find someone else?
Like, Rich, don't. He weren't rude. It was like so legit. He was like,
He was making out he was hurt.
Rich, like, don't worry about it, mate. I'll get someone else to do it. And I was like, what's the matter? He was like, nothing. I just thought you'd be loyal. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not signed to me, but we do a lot together. And I was like, no, I ain't like that. And he was like, no, it's cool. I'm not upset, but don't worry about it. I was like, no, Lee, I ain't like that. And then Craig and Sam on the other line, you're out of order. You're mad. You're doing
Poor
this.
guy was
proper,
in.
I was
broken.
in bits. I was like, Sam, what should I do? Like, this ain't what I wanted. This ain't what I meant. And I'm messaging Lee, and Lee's like, nah, mate, you're out of order. They done me for days, mate. I felt like shit. I was like, my bird. I was like, babe, like, what do I do? I can't pull out. And he's like, what about this date? I'm like, it's my mum's birthday, man. I'm not gonna like snake my mum and like, mum, I gotta go to like a boxing show. Like, no one can come to your birthday. I was fucking horrendous.
It was great.
All of you lot can go fuck
It
yourselves.
was a good time had by all.
But
I enjoyed it.
It was some seriously good banter.
It was good. But you're on the Goodwin show. Dates worked out, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Lee.
He's doing it
Two
again. He's
MTK
snaking
shows.
again, bro.
Yeah.
He's on the Goodwin show, bro.
No.
Let's go to final question. We're going to just talk on it briefly. I was going to touch on it anyway, so there's a question on it from Terry from the Seven Wolves. It's about the AJ Wilder situation. Do we now have to accept that AJ will focus on his mandatories now and the Wilder fight is an afterthought? You're going to reread that?
I'm going to reread it because I was actually talking to Hulio at the time.
I don't believe...
You read it out again.
I don't believe Joshua Wilder are ever going to fight. The question is, do we have to believe that AJ is only going to have his mandatories for the next foreseeable...
Isn't AJ boxing Ricky Hatton now?
What?
He's boxing Ricky Hatton.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Povetkin, yes, he is boxing Povetkin.
He's boxing Povetkin.
It's not
Is there
confirmed.
a small chance that he could spoil the AJ train?
Not for me.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Nah, it's not a fight I particularly am interested in. It's a mandatory for his WBA title. That's fine. He has to box him off. But this was the time to make Wilder. And how many podcasts ago did I say I don't believe Wilder Joshua happens?
Do you think it's ever going to happen?
I don't think it. I don't think it happens in the next year,
I
2 years.
understand.
No. That's too.
It will happen
What happened?
late when no one cares.
No one
This
cares
is the
about it.
frustrating
It
thing
will be
about
Mayweather
boxing. This is the
Pacquiao.
frustrating thing
It will
about
happen when no one cares about it.
When no one cares.
It
And that's
loses the
bollocks
hype.
because the truth is, and it's not because we're England and it's AJ. Wilder, you need AJ more than AJ needs you. You're not famous. You don't bring a lot to...
There's two sides to this. There's two sides to it.
Definitely.
That doesn't mean you can just throw your fucking toys around and expect people to fall in line because you're the A side. I don't like that.
No, I'm not saying
That's what it feels like.
I'm not saying that.
That's what it feels like Hearn has done to me. Because Wilder goes... Anthony Joshua makes a massive mistake. He sit there and went, give me 50 million and I'll take it. Wilder has got Al Heyman,
Who's gone, alright, that's 50.
who's gone, alright, sweet. And now you look a mug because you've now essentially said, alright, wait, we need to see proof of funds, we need to know where it's going to be, etc.
Oh, someone shared a video the other day saying,
Yeah.
I never said that.
That was Martin.
And then
Martin Theobald.
Yeah.
I never said I need proof of funds. Yeah, you did. And
then
there's the
he was
proof,
like,
side
"There's the
by
video of
side.
you saying it."
So yeah, you did. You've given yourself...
Well played.
You've given yourself massive issues. I don't like it. It pisses me off. If the fight happens, great. I'll believe it
I want
at
to see
the
that
press
fight, man.
conference. When I tell you when I believe it, when it's the press conference and they're sitting side by side. That's when the fight will happen. Till then, I'm done talking about it. Fair?
We haven't spoke about David Haley's podcast. That's what would help you out.
That's alright. He can have a week off.
Why?
He's in there now.
Because he's great. He's just
in there now.
he's just in the home of greatness, resting
What, in the Hall of
Well,
Fame?
what-
in
the
the Hall of
what?
Fame. In the Hall of Fame as the
Putting his-
greatest ever British cruiserweight, David Hay.
With Achilles tendon problems.
If that was the only problem, it'd have been alright. one shoulder, spine issues.
Spinal.
I broke my back. What do you mean you broke your back? Spinal. Oh, what a legend. Imagine the drugs he was on to say that shit.
I broke my back.
What do you mean you broke your back, mate? Spinal.
Spinal.
Listen, let's finish up. Get your socials out there. Get people.
So guys,
people need to get behind you.
I'm on IG, Hulio_Chavez, Facebook, Chavez, Hulio Boxer Campbell.
Listen, he's going to get a Twitter account. We're going to get it out there.
Make a new one. Start a new one.
He's going to create a Twitter account. If he's got one already, it's weak. He's going to start a new one.
He's going to start a brand new Twitter. It's going to be as simple as it's going to be like Chavez Campbell Boxer or Chavez Boxer. Something that we can associate with you, and we're going to help you build and get following and get sponsors and get out there because you're too good to not be known.
And that's what we do at Fight Talk. Boxing from the ground up.
And next time you're back, we'll have a look at your Fight Talk tattoo, and we'll appreciate it.
Definitely, man. When we getting that tattoo done, boys?
Yeah. That would look nice.
He's already got it. I need to get one.
Neck, like under your ear here.
Or hand. Get on your hand.
Oh, yeah,
have you heard you two? Right? You said that would look nice. You know?
Yeah.
Get a nice hand tattoo with Fight Talk.
I think you'd get more wins and more knockouts if you had that tattoo.
Be more fun.
Thuggish, thug-like. Who had a grenade tattooed on their hand? Oh, it was an MMA fighter. Grenade tattooed on his hand. I thought that was sick.
Come up with fucking Pokeball next. Catch me.
Oh, Michael Venom Page. That's what he did. Yeah. Yeah, this has been it, mate. Richie, good to see you. And last night at the boxing as media, it was a great time.
I appreciate having me there as a media for the first
Thank you to British Warriors for having us, mate. Good show, good fighters.
Thanks for having me.
It was good. It's been good. Thank you very much for coming down, sir.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
Thank you, man.
You lot get out of here. I've got to go to a football tournament.
I've got to go to a barbecue.
And then I've got to get back and watch Power. You know why?
I've got to get back and watch Love Island.
This is a big rich... What do you mean you got to watch Love Island?
Love Island's on tonight.
What a pussy. This has been the Fight Talk podcast. Thank you very much for listening.